Hi guys, I'm Andrea Burnside and this is my informative speech. Today I'm going to tell you about the basics of photography. When it was early high school, I started to realize that I really liked photography and that it's something I wanted to pursue more. It's just something I really enjoyed doing. I had a great high school teacher who really made it enjoyable for me and made me want to pursue it more. Here at Campbellsville, my work study is a photographer, so I'm getting that experience that I need to move further into it. So for today, I'm going to be talking to you about the 3 basic settings that you need to know on a DSLR camera, which are the ISO, the shutter speed, and the aperture, which also, by the way, you don't need to be a professional to be a photographer, but you do need to know those 3 basic settings. So with the DSLR cameras, the lenses are interchangeable. I have this lens right here, which is your basic kit lens that usually comes with the cameras if it's provided. And on this camera, I have my telephoto lens, which is used for really far distances. So this is my DSLR camera and this is what they look like. So the ISO setting measures the sensitivity of light, and the lower the number is, the less sensitive it will be. You would use a higher ISO when you're in a dark setting or at nighttime when you're outside. So when you're taking pictures of the stars, you're going to need to use a really high ISO, and that's like a common example. The ISO settings range from 100, 200, 400, 800, and 1600. So on the camera, the ISO setting is, the ISO button is right there, and so when you push that, it shows all the settings, which you can't really see very well, but it shows all the numbers right there. If you're using a high ISO, you need to adjust all the other settings accordingly, because your picture will come out grainy if you don't, because all of the settings are interrelated, which you'll soon understand after this video. But the next basic setting is the shutter speed, which is the fraction number on the camera if you're looking at it, and it stands for the amount of time that the camera shutter is open to record light. It's also called the exposure time. So if you turn on the camera, if it will go, it's the fraction number right there, and you can just change it by scrolling. There's a button on the top, and it can go high and it can go really low. So if the shutter speed is fast, you will have a high number and it's going to freeze the action completely, which is usually used for sports photography. If the shutter speed is low, it will have a lower number and it will create a motion blur, which is usually used for landscape photography, for like rivers and lakes, to show movement in the nature. Your shutter speed can go as low as 30 seconds, or it can go as fast as 1/4000th of a second. So the last basic setting that you need to know for the DSLR camera is the aperture, and it's commonly referred to as the f-stop. It can range from f1.4 to f22 depending on the lens you have. And on the camera, the f-stop is the number right next to the shutter speed, and it has a little F and then a number right there. You push a button and then you scroll, and that changes the f-stop. The f-stop directly impacts the depth of field, which makes the photo mostly blurry and has one thing in focus, or everything in the photo can be in focus. All these settings are connected when adjusting a picture. For example, you'd have to raise the ISO if you're using a really fast shutter speed, because you wouldn't be taking in that much light, so you need to compensate for that. So the basic settings that you need to know for a DSLR camera are the ISO, the shutter speed, and the aperture. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and please comment below if you have any questions, and have a great day.